Hi, my name is Marc from jazzguitarlessons.net and you're watching Pass Untold. There is a special place in the pantheon of jazz guitarists for Joseph Anthony Passalacqua. Joe Pass was the definitive model of the complete jazz guitar player. He developed a compelling solo guitar style at a time where most players could play rhythm or melody, but rarely both at the same time. So as the legend has it, his father urged him to play the guitar as a way out of his working class life and even compelled him to learn to fill as much space as possible when playing. He clearly followed his dad's advice. In the present Untold series, we're looking at legendary jazz players from a musical and personal development perspective. What can we learn from these players? So let's jump in and talk about the 5 most important lessons in the Joe Pass legacy. The first lesson learned here is about improvisation, of course. Joe Pass's legacy inspires us to play good lines and to play good music with other people. So Pass became so well known for his solo albums that it's easy to take his linear playing for granted. He liked to play long lines of 8 notes and insisted on the importance of having a solid command of the 8-note lines as a means to truly express the harmony of a tune, rather than using preset licks to improvise, basically like I teach on the website. So his wonderful book, Joe Pass Guitar Style, demonstrates his keen sense of shape and balance. Learning even a few of these lines will provide you with students for years of ammo, if you want to play machine gun like 8 notes. So to conclude with this first lesson is a large proportion of Joe Pass's recorded output is solo guitar and work with singers and drummer-less ensembles. But do check out his work on records like Simplicity, where his linear concept is in full flight with the support of a full rhythm section. Also notable is Chops with Niels Henning Orsted Peterson, did I say that right? Right. As well as an early video of The Song Is You with Joe playing a Fender Jaguar. The flip side of Joe Pass is, of course, the legendary elegance of his solo guitar playing, as I was just saying. So the second thing is to learn from Joe, of course, is play solo pieces, even if just a little bit. There's a famous quote by Joe Pass that I'm paraphrasing, but he's saying something like, any guitar player should be picking up the guitar playing an hour without stopping without a band. So I think it really makes sense. Listening to him play a standard is to hear the whole tune with no concessions to the difficulty of the instrument. So he made it sound effortless and sometimes almost casual. It can be said that he was comfortably conversant in the harmonic language of the 20th century's popular song in a way that few other players were or would ever be. So as might be expected, once Joe immersed himself in the solo work, he dropped the pick completely and he committed fully to playing with his fingers. So his fingerstyle tone was burnished and warm on nylon string as well as on archtop electric guitars. So now let's be practical. Just what can we learn for this? Is it necessary to play fingerstyle to play solo guitar arrangements? No. Does it help? Yes. So my advice would be to choose a few standards that you truly love and learn the melody, the harmony, and set about to arranging them. So meaning to develop your own solo guitar versions of the tune you really like. If this is a bridge that's too far for you, immerse yourself in one of Joe's own arrangements so you can get the book Joe Pass Guitar Solos to get started. There's Days of Wine and Misty and they're great. So it's guaranteed you'll find yourself stumbling upon and recognizing some stuff from recordings by a lot of famous guitar players. He really did define that style, that solo guitar playing. Of course, required listenings, all the virtuoso records. I remember Charlie Parker. Also check out his book Joe Pass Guitar Chords. It's all there. Joe Pass was such a beautiful accompanist for himself when playing solo guitar that he was a natural choice for legendary singers such as Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald. So he seemed to relish the role and always spurred great performances with truly musical and unselfish support. So the lesson is, find opportunities to play with singers and come prepared to the gig. Think of it as a warm-up to a full-on solo playing. So it's just a step down from being, you with your guitar alone on the stage. You just had the singer there, but there's nowhere to hide still, and at least you have someone carrying the melody for you, so that's great. One other thing that seems to set Joe Pass apart is his impeccable time. So many guitarists of that golden era of jazz guitar were wonderful players with lots of things that made them important in the history of the instrument. However, not to implicate any, I don't want to name any names, right? But many legends of jazz guitar simply did not have that rhythmic drive and accuracy of many of their peers on the instruments. So Joe Pass, like Wes, like later George Benson and Pat Martino, Joe Pass was arguably one of the standard bearers of a new level of guitar technique at that point. So he had a propulsive right-hand pick technique, and this gave his improvisation forward motion or drive when coupled with his studied use of shape and balance. So this is also evident in his solo guitar arrangements, right? This strong time, where even when he's playing a block chord or contrapuntal ideas, the melodic contour is always clear and very articulated. So further to this sense of balance is Joe Pass's beautiful use of rubato to tie the musical sections together and let the music breathe when it's appropriate. The last and fifth lesson for the Joe Pass Untold series. Simply work your butt off. Always leave no stone unturned. To sum up, there may not be a better guitarist upon which to model your playing if straight ahead jazz is your bag. If it's your cup of tea, that's cool. So there exists a wealth of recorded music in solo, duo, and group formats from Joe Pass. So his concept, while sometimes difficult to execute on the guitar, are clear, unobscured by impressionistic flourishes or conceptual abstractions, right? What you hear is what you get. This is what I really personally like about Joe. So if you even had a fraction of the work ethic that Joe Pass possessed, the information is all there to be absorbed via transcription and through published materials or websites. What are you waiting for? It's all there for you. This has been Joe Pass Untold, and I'll see you soon on jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher.